today. It is October the 3rd. It is a little bit late. It's about 10:05 a.m. And today, my subject is going to be on, so most of you know what I'm about to talk about as reaching the vibrational state. I like to say that for me, it's like reaching that sweet spot, the place between being asleep and awake. And today, I'd like to talk about it in depth, as it may assist those of you whose ultimate goal is to leave your body. But the other part to this is discussing why I believe that reaching this space can give you even more access to things you might not have thought about. All it requires, guys, is an open mind. But first, I'd like to go over a few things I've read on the subreddit on astral projection and offer my thoughts. First, I see variations of the following questions on almost every visit that I've had. So this is the question I see. I've reached the vibrational stage, but I can't seem to separate from my body. So what I can tell you, those of you who have asked this question or think about this, from my experience, is once you've reached this stage that, again, most of you call the vibrational stage. I like to call it the place between being asleep and awake. But once you've reached that stage, separation should be effortless. Okay, let me say it again for emphasis, guys. Once you've reached that stage, separation should be effortless. It shouldn't be a matter of having to think about separation. In other words, you shouldn't have to try. You should be able to either turn out of your body or simply feel yourself float outwards, out into the astral plane. As always, I like to give examples to back up what I'm saying. So, for those of you who have listened to my first experience, this was the beginning of it. So, in my first experience, the first thing I felt was a tingling sensation throughout my body. It was like static electricity, but much more intense. Then I felt as if I was lighter than air, and without making an effort, I began to rise. So when I talk about it being effortless, that's what I mean. The other question I've heard is, what does it feel like? So what does this vibrational stage feel like? Well, I think that it will feel different to different people, and there'll be those who won't feel anything at all. They'll simply pop out. It's happened to me, and I've heard of it happening to others. What's important, though, is to understand that each person's experience is probably going to be different. So I'd advise you, as I always do, to trust your instincts. One of the reasons why I'm doing this topic today is to share something I've personally discussed about reaching this place, this middle place, this place between being asleep and awake. Sweet spot, if you will. I've noticed, and this is just probably in the last few days, I guess, I really hadn't thought about it much, but I've noticed that I reach this place the most consistently when I lie down, shut my eyes with the intent of course, relaxing, but not allowing myself to fall asleep. Now, this may sound kind of obvious, but I think about the times when, well, the times when I wasn't really thinking about separation or leaving my body or reaching that stage. I was just kicking back, relaxing, listening to maybe talk radio, like I always tell you guys that I'm doing at times. And then I'll start feeling separation as I'm sitting there or as I'm lying there, my eyes shut, but not with the intent of sleeping. Now, I want to emphasize to you that this is a goal and I don't always reach it. In other words, there are times that I do fall asleep, but when I do it this way, when I just lie down, I shut my eyes, it's almost like, I guess in my mind, and maybe you could think about it this way as well. I'm thinking to myself, I'm just going to rest my eyes, right? I'm just going to rest my eyes for a while. I'm not going to fall asleep. I'm just going to rest my eyes and I'm just going to relax and I'm going to listen to storm sounds or whatever it is that might relax you. And I'm just focused on that. I'm not thinking about anything. I've quieted my thoughts and I'm focused on whatever the sound is and I'm just relaxing. Most importantly, I'm not like squarely focused on leaving my body or having an experience. What I'm doing mostly is, like I say, I'm just relaxing. That's it. I've already made my intent known. I've put it out there before, and I trust that the result that I desire will come. And once I reach that point, it isn't always, by the way, guys, about separation from me. I have developed the ability in that place to reach out to my guides and other spirit beings without separation. So this is something that I've kind of touched on before, but again, I wanted to kind of talk about it another time because, well, I think it's important. And I see that people say that they reach this stage, this vibrational stage, and they're like, what? I can't do anything with it. But I believe that there is so much more to this vibrational stage that we haven't even begun to really honestly, or I haven't really begun to scratch the surface. I have developed the ability to reach out to my guides and other spirit beings without separating from my body. I've also been able to do this thing where I observe beings and check out places simply as an observer without really going anywhere. I would say, guys, it's like watching a TV, right? If you sat and watched television, you're watching a show. You're not a part of the show. You're not in the show. You're just watching it. What if you had the ability, as you were watching that television show, whatever it is, whatever television show you happen to be checking out, what if you had the ability to be able to then go inside the television and be in that reality or be in that place, but continue to observe as if you were watching, just watching. You haven't left your body. You're just inside. You're able to see inside. And that's what I have been able to do. As always, I like to give examples. There was one instance, and I've had many instances of this, but there was one instance I can remember once observing a shark wash up on a beach. Who knows where this beach was? I don't know. I just happened to tune into this place, this beach, where I was seeing waves and things like that, and I saw a shark wash up. And it was so interesting because the only thing I heard with this shark, I heard this shark's thoughts, and I think that the shark must have sensed my presence because I just sensed the shark sensed that the shark's thoughts were go away. And that was it. And it was only a glimpse, but it was interesting. It was quite fascinating. By the way, I don't think, again, I don't think that I've even scratched the surface with this middle place, with this sweet spot, with this place between being asleep and awake. I don't think that I have scratched the surface with what's possible, and I'm continuing to explore it. My advice, once you have reached this place, is to try things out besides separation. Explore the possibilities. Who knows what you might discover? Anyway, thank you so much for coming on another journey with me. And until next time, take care.